So this is the grapple, quite obviously. Get this bucket on. All your pins are essentially just giant metric bolts. Always like, this is a little of that WD-40 white lithium grease. I always spray any of the bolts I put onto this thing with some of that. It is pretty wild that you can pick up some, like an excavator bucket this size with literally like one finger. Here we go for an amazing digging montage. We're in day 2 of this. I gotta come through and kind of get a few things cleaned up, but I'm pretty close to being able to start laying some pipe. Probably gotta gas the Mini up and we'll go from there. Check that seal out. Oh, do you not just love that noise? Of course, this is non-ethanol gas with Stay-Bil in it because I love myself and I don't like cleaning out carburetors. I have to run this machine at about 3/4 throttle and go super slow for it to be any kind of smooth. It's one of the things I dislike about it the most. I've never done anything like this before, but I assume you want the bottom of the trench reasonably flat and consistent. This is what I call my garden shop. I put it together earlier this year, mostly as a way to get some of the gardening stuff out of my like normal shop. This is all 3/4 inch PVC. So I use my favorite new little tool, excuse me, my favorite new little toy to bring up the big bucket. You'll have to excuse the barking. We found a stray on the road today and she's got some pit bull in her. We've got young kids. I don't think we're gonna end up keeping her. So there might be some barking. I'm most of the way done.
Dinner when we drop them off or something?
What sounds good? Mexican?
Longhorn.
Longhorn? That sounds good to me. I'm going to Longhorns tonight.
Yeah.
That looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that as my first ever backfilled trench. I just capped them off. I'll be able to get the garden beds in tomorrow. So these are the beds. They're all 3x8. These 2 are tall. These 2 are medium. These 4 are short. Again, this is the first real like kind of like plumbing thing I've ever done, and really the first real like trenching I've ever dug. So I'm just figuring this stuff out, you know. I tell you what, I don't know how long I'm gonna own this. My buddy Josh is actually about to be here to borrow the Mini for a few days. He needs to plant some trees, and I like to lend my toys to my friends if I can. So that should help it stop from pushing apart when the dirt gets put in it. Amazon's here. These are my spacer bars. Spyderco Manix 2 lightweight in CPM S110V. Tremendous knife. Well, let's get these 2 beds filled up. It's about dang time. I feel like I've been working for days to fill these garden beds up. Cardboarded. Let's fill it up. Got 36-inch spacing between the beds. They're looking pretty good so far. First garden I ever built. Right on either side of the front door. Got a lot of greens and stuff growing in there right now. Okay, here's something to keep in mind if you ever are filling up garden beds and you plan on using your front end loader on your tractor. Build it so that you can drive to the long side. One more bed. One more. I eyeball a lot of stuff. It's almost like more of a fun challenge. Like, can I get it right with just my eyes? $100-gallon Rubbermaid tub. And my buddy had set up as a cold plunge. That he got a new cold plunge, gave this one to me, and I keep all my spare extra dirt in it. Down here because I need something off of the trailer that I built my mobile coop on. 17 of the best eggs on the planet. Take that to the bank. So this little torpedo heater, heat this place up pretty good. I would say a retractable extension cord is probably a new must-have, non-negotiable for every shop. These are 3 inches. That works pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Finishing things feels really darn good. On a homestead, you'll find it's much easier to start things than it is to finish them. We've got all of the landscape fabric down. Chips in here. Got a bunch of wood to chip. Golly, that looks good though. What you doing?
I'm taking the nasturtiums to the chickens. I planted like maybe 8 plants in an 8-foot bed and it took over everything. So, more food. The only trap crop this trap was my ability to grow.
Got some garden chickens now for fun. Just a little homestead flock. Man, this garden looks just incredible. Several months later. The garden's growing great, and it's getting hot enough that I have to finish the irrigation. You're not going to win any beauty contests. This is a hose mender that was already on there. These work so much better. I don't know any reason that wouldn't work. Now I have all the drip tapes in. 1, 2. I'm gonna do 3 per bed, but I don't have enough of those barb hose connectors. I ordered more, but for now, we're just gonna run 2. 15 minutes should let us test it. We're flowing. Let's see what happens. It appears that it's working great. Only took me 8 months to get all that finished. Right on schedule. Here's a little peek at the homestead. Just beautiful. Hey, Doug. How you doing, buddy? Doug is sporting the cone of shame because he got neutered last week. How you doing, buddy? How you doing? Howdy, Doug. If you guys know anything more about drip irrigation, let me know. I'm going to do another video on it fairly soon, adding irrigation to this garden, which I was not smart enough to do underground water to when I built it, but I think I have a pretty good solution for that. Here's a little sneak peek of an upcoming project. So I got started on my office and gym expansion. So I've wanted a dedicated home office for a while, something that's not within the structure of my house. I had the idea a couple weeks ago, side of my shop would be an excellent place for that. And we also needed a little bit more room inside for some storage, kind of a homesteading room where you start seeds, keep our freezers, that sort of thing. So I'm moving where my gym equipment is currently. And this room is insulated but not conditioned. So I'm looking forward to having a conditioned gym. I'm gonna put a mini split system in the office outside and having just a little bit more space in there. This is about the same width, but the new space is about 10 feet longer. It doesn't have things like this sink, that door. The door is more favorably positioned in the new space. No water heater. A lot fewer things to plan the space around. Super pumped. Follow along for that. So it's just closed in. The plan is spray foam it, finish out the interior walls, and move my gym equipment in here, and so my office is gonna be at this end, and my gym equipment's gonna be all through here. I'm gonna do a whole video on this. It'll take a few months to get it finished, but I just kind of wanted to tease it out there, see if anybody's interested in that sort of thing, and tell you to follow along. That's all for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.